Welcome to Offgrid Victory. So yes, I'm here in my orchard area and doing a little bit of work here with an excavator. And yeah, so we're digging, right? And so one of the things with an excavator is you want something like that right there. And that's an opposable thumb that you put on there. It's hydraulic and it can be controlled by the operator by the boomstick. And yeah, that's really valuable for doing a lot of things, especially here in the Ozarks where we do have lots of rocks and things to move around that you have to grapple. So just the bucket in itself is a little tricky to use. But at any rate, that's not what this video is about. Today's video, you're here for an epic fail. So lessons learned here on the homestead that could benefit the viewers out there. So let me show you what I got here. Okay, I'm in front of my garden and I want to show you this guy right here. All right, what is all this muddy mess? Well, it's a cistern or an underground water tank or storage tanks, and people use these things for a cistern which will hold water or even sewage, and some people do use it for a septic tank as well. And this particular model is a roughly 1,200 gallon. It's an 1175, so 1,200 gallon water tank. It's rated for fresh water or municipal water or sewage water, whatever you have, right? And so this is what I want to talk to you about today. So this particular guy is, I think, about a little over 10 feet long and a little over 4 feet high and about 5 feet wide. So I think the dimensions are like 127 by 62 by 51, something like that. And it has two manhole covers here, as you can see, right up here, and the one that's a little bit buried here. So what is this epic fail? Well, hey, there is some things about water that's great and could be advantageous or disadvantageous, right? So water here is definitely, it always seeks level. So you can see right now that water is level to the ground. And the cistern is kind of level to the ground, but the cistern was actually, or this water tank was actually below ground. So here in the Ozarks, we got a couple things going on. So if you live on a place like where we live, you're on a mountaintop, there is kind of a bedrock. And so you'll hit a large shelf of rock, kind of a hard sedimentary rock, that is really difficult to break through, and a little excavator like this guy that I just showed you won't be able to do that. You'll need heavy equipment to do it, or to pound it out or whatever. And so I hit that, and good thing that was about 4 feet in the ground. So I buried it, and it was a little over 4 feet. So I was able to get to about where the manhole cover was, and this was completely submerged. But because we do live in the land of extreme weather here, we had rain for the last, I don't know, gosh, almost a week. So I dug this up about 4 days ago and made sure to bury it. There was a little bit of water coming in, but not much, not at all. And so I was able to level it, put it in, put all the dirt back. Like, believe it or not, there was a mound of dirt here, which I put back. And I called it good. I thought, okay, yeah, I got it in. But this happened. So basically acted like a submarine, the buoyancy effect of water, and this thing literally lifted out. So, why did I get it in the first place, right? We live off grid, and we do need water. And at times here in the Ozarks, we've had heavy rain as well as super drought. So this summer we had a super drought, of course, and we had no water or very little water even in our wells that we have. And so we have 3 wells here, but only one really functions super well throughout the year. One pretty much will slow down to a drizzle if we go into a drought situation. And so anyway, I decided to get this and store some water back for our fruit trees and the garden we plan to do over here. And yeah, there's the fruit trees. Here's the other garden. At any rate, what I wanted to say is when you get this thing, there's no instructions or anything that comes with it. And so one of the things you got to figure out yourself is, yes, you have to weigh this thing down. So immediately after you dig a hole, you should fill it with water, which I didn't do. But the positive thing is I know this thing is now able to completely well, not float, but I know it's completely watertight inside, which is a good thing. So that's the positive, right? Like I can't look at this as a negative thing. It's a life lesson and an epic fail. But I know I can actually go in there and store things in there or water, and it's gonna be all good, and the water's not gonna penetrate. But the main thing is that, yeah, that hydrostatic pressure, right, is really, really strong. So, you know, whether you put in a cistern for sewage, septic, or for water storage like myself, you got to make sure you fill it before you bury it completely, right? Dig your hole, go ahead, fill the water inside of it. And then, you know, obviously when I need it the most in the summer, I'm going to be utilizing it. And in the fall, you know, and even in the wintertime, springtime, when we get rains like this thing's going to be completely filled and kept filled, because I know that if I don't, it's going to do this. It's going to be a submarine wanting to, go above water again. So, yeah. Pretty interesting stuff and lesson learned. Not a hard lesson. I mean, it's one of these things you can recover from. But like literally, if I go in there, yeah, I'm going to just sink all the way down to about 4 feet. But it's pretty interesting to me that, water has this kind of an effect on something this big. I'm not exactly sure about the weight of this tank, but I got to say it's going to be roughly, I don't know, 400 pounds. I mean, there's no way a single person can lift this. I mean, yeah, I was able to move it around because it is plastic after all. And the other thing about this tank that I didn't mention is, yes, it's rated for underground, right? That's the important thing. I thought about just burying an IBC tote, which I may do. It's definitely a cheaper option. This particular tank cost me around $2,000. And I also have a manhole sleeve for one of the sides as well that I didn't install because I didn't open it, right? So anyway, yes, lesson learned. The good thing is I know that this thing is watertight, and when I do put water, I mean, I guess I could just put water in it now and let it displace this water out, but I'm going to do the right thing, clean it out, level it better, all of that good stuff, and then try to put it back in and put water in it, especially when it's like this, right? I can't even get back in here because I'm going to sink too much. But anyway, yeah, epic fail video. Thanks for watching. Shalom.